Oh, welcome.
Hello, we're still awake.
Thank you for coming to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore. This is Matthew Caller. It is about 2 a.m. outside US Bank Stadium where the Vikings debuted their pretty magnificent palace tonight, Matthew, which is very easy for me to say. There are a couple things that I want to talk about this game, and we can talk about the stadium certainly too. But, I mean, Trey Waynes with a big play. Sam Bradford's incredible debut and the uncertainty around Adrian Peterson. Let's start with Bradford because it's the quarterback, and let's be honest, you're going to click off of this video as soon as we're done talking about the quarterback. So we'll get that out of the way. I thought Sam Bradford... No, you could certainly stay around. We'd love it if you did.
I think it's a bad suggestion.
Yeah, actually, cut. Let's start this one over. I thought Sam Bradford played pretty well on Sunday, all things considered.
Pretty well. I think he played fantastic. I mean, it's the Green Bay Packers. It's his first start ever as a Minnesota Viking. Yeah. It's Sunday Night Football. And even Mike Zimmer alluded to the fact that he didn't love that Bradford was debuting under these circumstances because of the amount of pressure that was going to come along with it. But apparently when you have Stephon Diggs, then even if you're Sean Hill or you're making your debut after 2 weeks after being traded, you can still be really, really good. But I thought there were some throws in there that were just downright awesome NFL, former number one overall pick, star quarterback type throws, especially the touchdown to Stephon Diggs. Got a second look at that one from the TV broadcast, and somebody put it on Twitter, from behind him, just what he was facing with a Packer bearing down his face, throwing it over the top of the cornerback, and Stephon Diggs making that catch. I mean, that is a top-end type throw, and that's not one that you're going to get with Sean Hill, and it's the reason that they traded for Sam Bradford.
Yeah, absolutely. Peterson, also another reason, kind of indirectly, that they traded for Bradford. Hey, Adrian Peterson still putting up numbers, got this defense. All we're missing is the quarterback. Lost the quarterback.
Right.
Got to go get another one. So Adrian Peterson, though, through 2 games before he got hurt in this one, really wasn't doing that much. He was getting hit in the backfield a lot, but even so, he just wasn't creating that much, it seemed to me anyways. And then Peterson goes out, knee injury. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. By the time you're watching this video, maybe you know the diagnosis, but right now it's uncertain. I'd be shocked if Peterson's back for next week. I would expect this is going to be a multi-week injury at a minimum. That kind of hurts, even though they could maybe replace him statistically. Missing Adrian Peterson in a Vikings offense hurts a lot.
Where I think it hurts the most is 8-man fronts. That the expectation for this first couple of weeks was, and it happened again tonight, that other teams would be loading up the box to face Adrian Peterson. They did it with Tennessee, and they did it here tonight. And opponents got burned on it a few times because they were loading up a 44-yard pass tonight to Stephon Diggs. And
sorry, no light.
No, we don't.
Good luck.
44-yard pass to Stephon Diggs.
Seamless.
Just we don't have a light. Anyway, so I guess the point being that defenses were loading up to face him. So even if he wasn't having a lot of success, he was overall helping the offense.
By extension, helping the quarterback.
Right. However, I would say this. I want to see this offense turn into Stephon Diggs.
Sure.
I just wrote the column. It's on this website that you're on to see this.
Is that a plug?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Quick plug.
Caught me. But what I wrote was, for the first time since Randy Moss was here, there's a star wide receiver that is now the centerpiece of the offense. I don't think Adrian Peterson, whether he comes back and is successful or not, is the centerpiece of this offense. It's Stephon Diggs, and he proved it tonight.
Absolutely. Trey Waynes with the big interception, of course, at the end. Terrible game for Waynes up until that point. Kind of a redeeming quality, but I guarantee you, when he looks at the grade sheet on Monday after the coaches go through the film, he's not going to like what he sees. A lot of DPI, penalty yards, just some catches allowed. It didn't seem like he was really being the aggressor on Sunday, I guess, until he was the aggressor and won it for him.
No, every time the ball went his way, I think you were holding your breath. Because there were plenty of times where Trey Waynes was right there, where he had good coverage, where he was running with his man, and we know that he's a terrific athlete. And then when the ball was on its way, he did not know how to play it, it seemed.
Sure.
Which, I mean, I don't know exactly how you're supposed to work on that or develop in that area, but it's a major, major problem for him. And if Xavier Rhodes can't come back soon, we're going to see Cam Newton and others throw at him a lot, almost every single time. We didn't see Terrence Newman get a lot of work tonight because they were throwing at Trey Waynes so often. And he does come through at the end. He, to quote Dumb and Dumber, totally redeems himself.
Right. Yeah.
But the interceptions don't always come. There's a reason why every coach looks at it like, I don't care if you have 0 or 10 interceptions. You probably, like, if you're going to be that poor throughout a whole night, you're probably hurting your team, and one turnover doesn't make it up. The timing of this turnover just happened to make up for it.
Yeah, basically what you don't want to do, and Zimmer talks about this a lot, is don't let your guy catch the ball. You don't want the guy you're supposed to be guarding to end up with the ball in his hand. It sounds so simple and formulaic when Zimmer says it, but ultimately that's what they're hoping to get out of Trey Waynes. Yes, they want him making more plays on the ball, and he showed that on Sunday night. But I think the cornerstone, like the foundation of what he's trying to do, is simply defend the pass, and he wasn't really able to do that for the most part on Sunday. So we'll see going forward.
But Aaron Rodgers had a tough night.
Yeah,
and
you don't get to say that very often.
Right, and if you can have one of your cornerbacks have a really poor game like that and still look at the other team's quarterback and say, boy, that guy really struggled tonight, that means your defensive line was doing something fantastic. Sure. And tonight, Griffin, especially to me, stuck out as being a superstar level player.
He was a bully.
They were dominating that Packers offensive line, and Aaron Rodgers has the ability to get out and create things with his legs. He avoided a lot of sacks. He showed unbelievable patience on his running touchdown.
Sure.
At the same time, running for his life most of the night. And now that's 2 quarterbacks in a row who have been pushed around quite a bit by this Vikings defensive line.
Yeah.
I would expect that to continue. Now, maybe Cam Newton is a bit of a different story because that's the MVP of the league. But as we go forward throughout this entire season, week in and week out, this defensive line is tough enough to be in the face of every quarterback.
I was here when they were building this stadium. Actually, I covered the last game in the Metrodome. Oh. I walked out to the parking lot, and they were tearing it down. It was pretty crazy, kind of a surreal experience there. So anyways, I've witnessed this thing going up, and I kind of knew what to expect and still was blown away. Give me your one-word review of US Bank Stadium after covering a game there tonight.
Impressive, I would say, is my one-word review. It wasn't just how it looks. I had been inside it before, but how it sounds in a regular season game is the loudest that I have ever heard in an NFL stadium.
Yes.
It was deafening most of the time that Green Bay was out there. The first time that Rodgers goes out there, you think,
they got the ball at their 10 or whatever.
Yeah, are they going to be able to keep this up for a whole game?
Yeah,
and they did.
I even said to you, I said, this pace isn't going to keep up.
And they did.
They can't be this loud all night. They were.
And it was so loud that Alex Boone had a problem with how loud it was.
Boone not too happy.
Yeah, he said that fans need to shut up when they're on offense. That's how loud it was. But imagine Aaron Rodgers and what he went through tonight and trying to communicate with his offensive line and wide receivers. And I think it showed up, some of those struggles. And I think it's the biggest advantage that they're going to get out of this building is every time the other team's quarterback is on the field, he's not going to be able to communicate with anybody on his offense because it's deafening. It is so much so that media members are putting in earplugs.
Yep.
Like it's that bad.
Guilty.
Or good. That good.
Yeah, it depends on your perspective, I guess.
The other thing that I loved, too, was just all the stuff that they had. Like, they had the fire-breathing Viking dragon that we could feel the heat in the press box, and we're like third level.
That was pretty crazy.
That was. Are those people down there okay?
Yeah.
But so we've got the fire-breathing dragon thing. We've got Bud Grant blowing the horn. We've got Chris Carter on the field. Fran Tarkenton on the field. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for
the
this
Minnesota
game.
Orchestra at halftime with a Prince
Playing
tribute.
Prince was amazing. It was
Something
really,
else.
really good. I mean, and orchestras of this size are just, I mean, a city this big are incredibly talented.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Minnesota Orchestra, go. They're great. Fantastic.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
And plus, Prince
Good
is
effort.
incredible. So the whole stadium is singing Prince, and the lights are down,
Pretty
and that's
cool.
just halftime. From the very start to the very end, with the noise on the last drive of the Packers, it was it really showed itself well.
And hey, the Vikings beat the Packers, so that's another thing.
And at 2 a.m., it doesn't even feel that dangerous here.
Well, let's go take these. Turn the camera off. We'll go walk around downtown Minneapolis. Maybe catch a beer or something like that. See if there's someplace serving after hours. Some places got to keep their doors open
You guys,
for
what time do you shut it down?
2 a.m. The bar closes at 2 a.m.
Oh, in Buffalo, it's 4.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, you've
famous
got
for
much
that.
to learn.
Yeah.
Much to learn about these mean streets of Minneapolis. Well, we're going to go find out about that. This is Matthew Collar. I'm Derek Wetmore. You're watching 1500 ESPN. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel, help get our numbers up over there.
And just for future reference, we don't have a light. So if
Right.
we're shooting a video and you
Yeah.
walk behind us,
Don't ask
we
us in the
don't
middle
have
of
a
a video.
light. Neither one of us.
Yeah, just like, it's also kind of, just like proper form, maybe polite to just tiptoe around maybe behind the video and try to get our attention that way.
No, I would prefer if you end up in a video at some point that you try to
Better.
do something hilarious to us.
Better. Do you have a light guy or guy on a dolly
yeah.
at Winter Park?
Was it a mop? Or was he pushing
No, yeah,
something?
he had a two-wheeler, and he's
yeah,
like,
that's right.
busting some equipment through, and he's like, "Oh, sorry guys, get right through the middle of our video." I think that one was a little bit better because he actually made a cameo in the video.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not sure if you could see Got a Light guy walking behind us or not.
Oh, I didn't see him walking behind.
I didn't see him in the video.
I saw him
walking
approach
behind.
from my side in my peripheral vision.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Got a Light guy is
Got a Light guy.
worse because we're clearly
Yeah.
shooting a video in front of the stadium.
Yeah, who cares? It's no big deal. Maybe next one we'll do on Facebook Live. We tried that at halftime. It was successful. Phil Mackey and the superstar Mike Morris. You can check that out. That's just like all of my shill for the night. That's all my self-promotion that I can handle.
Follow me on Twitter.
That was 3 times. Follow him on Twitter. I don't
I
care.
am amazing on Twitter.
He needs some more Minnesota followers, so help him out. At Matthew Collar. Spell it how you'd think you'd spell it. I'm at Derek Wetmore if you want to go down that route. I suggest you not do that. Until next time, we will check in with you at Winter Park in the middle of the week when we know more about Vikings star running back Adrian Peterson. Until then, thank you for watching this video. Thanks for sticking with us through all of this, and we'll catch you later.
No idea why you're still here.